Hi, as promised, the results from the EEVblog viewer survey. Thank you to everyone who responded. I got 12,004. I just stopped it just before this. 12,004 responses. That is awesome. That's many thousands more than I thought I would get. I thought, if I'm lucky, like 1,000 or two would reply, but thank you very much. This is awesome. So we can't say this doesn't, is a fairly representative survey of the EEVblog audience. Granted, only ones who had mostly a Google account, but hey, you generally got to have one to comment on YouTube, don't you? Anyway, that is awesome. Thank you very much. It's great. Now, I didn't see a huge change in. I was watching the data sort of live. I could see it like live updating. Google Forms is really good. It live. I saw this number here go up live as people were submitting the form, and then all these graphs all changed. And it was interesting when I originally put it up. Things like, for example, which country are you from? Here's the final result. 25% from the United States. No, the United States is not the center of the universe. A quarter of my audience is from the US. Yes, it is by far the largest slice, but it's not the majority audience. And when I first released it, just due to the time zones and stuff, that was down around like 16-17% or something like that, because the US time zones hadn't kicked in. So once the time zone kicked in, and then it went up to like 30% at one point because the other countries hadn't come in yet. And it was really fascinating to watch that change live. Anyway, it should have all nicely settled down now. It's like, overshoot, undershoot, it settles down. So let's have a look at the data, shall we, from 12,000 respondents. Which country are you from? As I said, 25% United States. Anyway, this chart here isn't as good, isn't that great. So what I've done is I've actually gone in to the good thing about Google Forms is it automatically puts all the responses in a spreadsheet for you. So I've got I've stripped out all of the other stuff from it, and all I've got is the column, which was which country are you from. So these are the respondents, and there's like, yes, there is like 10,000, 12,000 of them, or 10,000 of them, or whatever. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Right. So, yep, it is, yeah, there you go. Which country are you from? 12,000 odd. There you go. All right. And then the way you get that data, things like Excel, I don't use Excel, I use Open Office, LibreOffice, sorry. And for all you LibreOffice fanboys, and that you can't ordinarily graph something like this. So I'll just show you a little trick you can do to actually graph this. So what you do, so you've got your column of all your random data like this. It's got words, right? So it doesn't have word responses. It doesn't have numbers that Excel knows how to deal with. So Excel doesn't know how to deal with stuff like this just to create charts and things like that. So what you have to do is create another column with all the response options. So there's the 200 and whatever countries, right? So I just copied that list from the original list I posted in Google Forms. And then what you do is you just use the COUNTIF command, and you put in just the cell, here we go, A2 over here, and you've got to put the dollars in, which means it's not an absolute cell, it's a yes, it's an absolute cell. It stays the absolute reference, whatever. You've got to put the dollars, so $A, $2, so that it doesn't copy that down, because it's a range. So when you create this and then you want to drag your formula down to copy it, yes, it's an absolute reference. It doesn't automatically increment. So it takes that range. So the COUNTIF command, here it is, range/criterion. So you put in the range like that, 12 through to 12,010, and then the criterion is the name, the the country name there, which you do want that to increment, so that'll be B3, and you'll notice that that doesn't increment. And then that'll go through and count all of your countries. For Australia, for example, 941 responses. So I'll go through all the countries for those who are in a country. 5 from Cyprus, like if we got like one from French Guinea, and French Southern and Atlantic something. Guadeloupe. Maybe I'll ship something to Guadeloupe. I can't remember if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The Isle of Man. Is that Big Clive? Isn't Big Clive from the Isle of Man? Jersey, Kazakhstan, Macau, Malta, Navassa Island. Can't say I've ever heard of Navassa Island. I shipped, what was the name of it? It was like, was it? I don't know. I can't remember what the island was. Somebody ordered a multimeter, and the system that I'm using, Starship system, didn't know what that country was. It had no clue. It's a little like, I looked it up. It's got like 30,000 people or something on this little island nation. It's one of those island nation things. And yeah, anyway, Navassa Island, Nepal, Rwanda, none from Rwanda. 8 from Saudi Arabia. There you go, 1 from Somalia, wow. 5 from Sri Lanka, 1 from Tanzania, Tonga, this is great. Tuvalu. Tuvalu's doing a great trade now. They, what they did is they got onto the coin thing, they mint coins they don't actually, I don't believe they mint them, but they, like the Perth Mint and the New Zealand Mint and all the other mints around the world, they use Tuvalu. That country's given permission to actually denominate the coins in their currency. So you can actually get, you can buy a coin that's worth, 10 Tuvalu dollars or whatever. So it's got $10 on it, but you read the back and it's Tuvalu. So it's the currency of Tuvalu, but you can buy it from like the Perth Mint or the New Zealand Mint or the US Mint or whoever it is, the Canadian Mint. Anyway, that's fascinating. So there you go. I just thought I'd show you that. So what I've been waffling on for 10 minutes, just on the countries. So there you go. There's the pie chart for those playing along at home. 11% for, what was it? Yep. So 10% for Germany. This has always been the case. YouTube results are very much the same. Roughly, let's say, a quarter from the US, 10% from the UK, Germany, and Australia. Australia's usually a bit higher than that. It's pretty close to that 10%. Then Canada's probably the next biggest. The Netherlands is big. And then, we've got Denmark, Finland, France, all that sort of jazz. Greece, Hungary. All these other ones are like, a percent of that order. Something like 1.2% for New Zealand. Sorry to do it. Sweden, 3%. So that's the country breakdown. Now, what type of videos do you like to watch? 12,000 responses. So I haven't really analyzed this. So this is me looking at this now. Is this all of them? It's not a scroll list. So let's have a look at... Interestingly, 32% said they watch every video. In the early survey results, that was closer to like 45%. So that's interesting. That I didn't expect it to be that high. Whether or not those people really do watch every single thing I upload, I don't know. But hey, they say they do. They tick the checkbox. So, and then of course, which ones you like. So I expect those people just... maybe they also ticked these ones down here, and that was fine. Mailbag, it's not everyone's favourite segment, but it's not far off it. I sort of do that intro as a joke, welcome to everyone's favourite segment, Mailbag, and it is pretty darn popular. So sorry, those who don't like Mailbag, I'm going to keep doing it. I get so many requests. It's probably my most... if I don't do a Mailbag for a while, I get quite a bit of, not hate mail, but I get quite a bit of, hey, where's the mailbag? You don't do Mailbag anymore. So yes, Mailbag's coming. I've got a whole bunch. It might be my next video. Now, reviews. Test equipment, 40%. Test reviews development boards and things like that. So like, Arduinos and Raspberry Pis and, and other ARM processor boards or whatever. I just thought I'd split those out just to see what the data said. And everything, reviews of everything. That's just whatever I want to review. It might be like a consumer, like a GoPro or something like that, that I might do occasionally. And review torture tests. A lot of people say they don't like the torture tests, but hey, 28% of the audience say they like to watch. That was the question. Shootouts. This one's interesting because I get a lot of requests for shootouts, and I thought that would be higher, but only 20% said they like shootouts. So that is really interesting. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Because shootouts are probably the most time-consuming video to make. Many days can go into a shootout if you want to do it properly. And I think my last shootout was like 200 clips or 250 clips or something, video clips, like to edit together. It was a lot. So that's interesting. Okay, so I may not put as much, although I know something like, say, a shootout between like the three like low-end scopes or something, the Ryegold, the new Keysight or something, and the Instec and the, like a four-way shootout and the Siglent, like a four-way shootout there. I know that'd be pretty popular. So I'd probably go against, I'd go against the grain somewhat there, go against the data there. I know I'm pretty confident that would be popular, but in general, okay, shootouts, interesting. I was going to do like a pocket multimeter shootout. That's going to require a lot. I've actually got 9 of them. I've got 9 pocket multimeters, so that's interesting. Okay. Teardowns, test gear. A lot of people say they're bored with test gear teardowns. Are all the same. 51% of people say they like test gear teardowns. So they're staying. And random stuff, of course, I expected that to be high. In fact, is that the biggest? Yes. Teardowns of random stuff. That is not surprising at all. So more random stuff. Okay. I am listening. More random stuff. More weird. I'll go search eBay for weird stuff. And, fork out some money. It's often hard to get stuff here in Australia. You might see like Mike's channel, Mike's Electric stuff, for example. He gets really awesome, cool teardowns, but those sorts of stuff are more available. Like, something like an X-ray machine, for example, which I'd love to do a teardown of. You can't legally buy them in this country. You can't buy them overseas and import them into this country, for example. It's illegal to actually own one. Or it's illegal for someone to sell it to someone who doesn't have a license to operate one. And, like stuff like that. And just our market's not nearly as big as it is in other countries, England and the US especially. And, like Germany and, and Europe in general. It's just, we don't get as much cool stuff here. Unfortunately, it's just the nature of our population, our low population and our low tech industry and stuff like that. Mystery teardowns, I thought I'd throw that one in. I've done a few of those lately. Obviously, people like them because they're random, but I just don't put it in the title. So, which is interesting because the teardown, like to put mystery, the big thing about YouTube is you've got to get the keyword in the title. That's very important for SEO. It's very important for people to click on them and stuff like that. So for me to just put mystery teardown, I've got to, like it needs to be something obscure that no one's going to search for example. So then I'm not sort of wasting the title, so to speak, from a search engine, from optimization, SEO point of view. Anyway, vintage computing, 40% of people like vintage computing, although I think I saw down here, we'll go down and have a look. That might be contradicted down here, I think. So vintage computing, 40%. I don't do those often. But, I like them, so I'm going to continue to do it. It's one of my hobbies, vintage computers. So, but that data seems to back it up. A lot of people still like it. Vintage magazines. Did not work. People do not like the vintage magazines, even though I have a real soft spot for the vintage magazines. I was going to have a segment, like I kind of started it, like a Way Back Wednesday segment. So the vintage magazines would include vintage books as well. I've got those vintage books I was going to look at. People don't seem to be wanting that stuff. Okay. we might see that down below of what videos people hate as well. So anyway, this is going to take forever. Sorry, this video could go for an hour. I'll try and make it quicker. Okay, fundamentals, beginner tutorials, 48%. So half of my audience like beginner videos and slightly more say they like advanced tutorials. Now that doesn't... Oh, I probably should have had my YouTube channel open here. I probably could. Oh no, it'd take too long to go down. This data does not bear itself out in the views I get for some of my fundamentals videos. Some of them are very good, no doubt, like op-amp tutorials, stuff like that, really, but if I do something more obscure, they're not very popular. So, okay, but I have maybe next month-ish, if things go well, I may be able to produce, or maybe the co-host, which we'll get to the question, can produce, or both of us can produce more advanced tutorial videos. So, okay, fine. I specifically want to know that, so that's good, 52%. Equipment usage, beginner tutorials, that's interesting. Once again, 39% say 40% say they do it, but if I do a how to, use the vertical, like a trigger, like I did a trigger video, it wasn't that popular. Like, people didn't seem to care too much, so that's interesting. Equipment usage, random hacking, yep, 53%. I've just done 2 hacking videos. They seem to be very popular, lots of positive comments, the odd negative comment. Repair, okay, people love repair videos, 57%. Yes, I get it, but repairs are hard, not just from actually repairing them point of view, but to get what turns out to be an interesting repair. 1 out of, say, 10 might be interesting, because I seem to be cursed in this regard, in that the stuff I get is either a real ridiculously simple fix, like, oh, it's a bad cap, it's a blown fuse, it's a loose connection, or something stupid like that, or it's beyond economical repair, which you saw in the HP dynamic signal analyzer teardown. A lot of people say, why don't I continue fixing that? It's because the power supply blew everything on the board, probably including the custom chips. There's hundreds and hundreds of chips on there, on each board, let alone multiple boards. It's not worth the time or effort to, you could spend forever and countless time and money on that and still find you have to fix everything on the board. There was some sort of surge or something happened and it just killed everything. BER, beyond economical repair. So it's hard to do that. Some other people get very lucky with their repairs. Sharia, for example, gets very lucky with his repairs, I think. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of persistence and skill in there as well. But, you've got to get something that has an interesting repair that you can track down and find. Anyway, yeah, okay, I get it. EEVblog, 20% only don't like it. So, yep, okay, not great. EEV comments, 8% like it. All right, I might not do any more comments videos then. I'll probably still do the occasional blab just because, I think it's important, but I won't do one every week. EV smoke, 17%. Not many people liked it. Fair enough. Most people said they'd like it if I was blowing the shit up myself, and I do have the high-speed camera. So, yes, and I've been meaning to do that. So, as time permits. PCB design stuff, yep, people like it. Project design, in-depth multi-part videos. We might have more of those potentially in the coming months if things go well. So one-off design builds, single videos, yeah, people like them. Site interviews and visits to interesting tech places. I put this one in for a reason, because I'm thinking of starting a separate channel, which at the moment I won't tell you the name of because it kind of gives the game away a bit. Well, no, it doesn't. Where I actually go visit interesting places, and they'd be highly polished videos. I'd get someone, pay someone to actually edit them properly. It'd be like, a more professional channel just dedicated to site visits to interesting tech places, and not so much interview people, but I'd be going to places and finding out stuff from experts. So yeah, okay, people don't like interviews. All right, debunking 41%. Yep, I'll keep doing the debunking. Although yeah, I know people comment that, yeah, like just stop with the batterizer and the solar arrays and everything, like, yeah, unless something dramatically comes up, I might just chuck them on the second channel or something. I won't put much effort into it if it's like part 5 or something like that. Solar and renewable, 28%. Okay, might do it occasionally. Dumpster diving. Yeah, people seem to love dumpster diving. But I'm at the whim of the dumpster. Sorry, there hasn't been anything in there. That's remotely interesting. Metrology and calibration, not great. Live shows, people don't like them. But the thing with live shows is that they don't take long to produce. They're this, like, you turn on the camera and it just goes in the background. So maybe I might limit those perhaps to my second channel, EEVblog 2, and then there are no complaints. I do not listen to complaints about content on EEVblog 2. It's like EEVblog 2 is whatever. If you don't like it, I don't give a shit at all. Really, I don't. That's what the second channel is for. So I might put them on there. I might stream them on there, especially if I get a new co-host. We might be in the lab a lot and just, live from the lab kind of thing. Advice and tips, not terrific, but that's okay. I don't have many. I've done most of it. General rants, yeah, not hugely popular. Yeah, I don't do many general rants now. If they are, they're in blabs. So embedded computing, 42%. That's the Arduino, PIC, Raspberry Pi. We can do more of that. We can do more than that. Reverse engineering, yep. That's like second or third biggest, third most popular. So, yep, I get it. We can do potentially more reverse engineering. They're not easy, though. They're very time-consuming. I've done a how-to reverse engineer. So, the problem with reverse engineering is it might take me a day or 2 days to reverse engineer, so like a lot of hours, to reverse engineer something. And then, yeah, I can put it in a 5-minute video. Here's the schematic. Isn't that wonderful? And you don't know it took me like 2 days to do that. So, yeah, like to reverse engineer a whole front end of a scope, for example, is not easy, like I did in that tutorial video. Auctions and eBay related stuff, people don't like that. I might do it occasionally. I'm still always looking for stuff at auctions and things like that. So if I get it, I might chuck it on there. But yeah, I'm not actively pursuing that. And mechanical type stuff, 3D, once again, I could have a co-host who might be able to help out there with more content, because that's not really my interest. What type of videos do you really want more of? Okay, let's go through it. I won't go through one by one. Repair. They want more repair. Yeah, okay. But there's unfortunately limits. More tutorials. Fundamentals. Yep. Teardown. Random teardowns. Yes. So they want more random teardowns than they do other teardowns. Yep, I get it. So that shows that, yeah. So random stuff is more interesting than test gear teardowns. But I'm getting a lot of test gear lately. So don't say I'm not listening. It's just like, if I get a bit of gear, I'm going to tear it down. Okay, sorry, that's just, if you don't like it, you're going to, like, someone in the industry's got to do it, right? So anyway, review shootouts, people don't want more of that. All right, I won't bother, I guess, because they're a lot of effort. Mailbag, yep. Random hackage, equipment usage is still high. Teardowns, vintage computing, 17%. It's getting up there, okay. Reverse engineering, yep. So it's very similar to the results we got before. The design, in-depth multi-part ones are better than just one-off builds. Multi-part ones, yeah, they're not necessarily interesting. So people don't want interviews. They don't want the live shows. They don't want the comments. They don't want the smoke. All the blabs, all the vintage magazines. There you go. They don't really want more of that, so that's very low. Okay, auction and eBay. Interesting. Thank you. And here we go. I thought I'd give a place for people to complain. Why not? People like to complain, and I do like to listen. I don't necessarily, because I can't please everyone. It's impossible. Look at all the categories. Look at all the categories of videos. I do. Count them. Okay? There are some people who sign up just because they like one category or one or two or a couple or even a handful, even if you liked 5 different types of videos. I can't do all those 5 different types of videos regularly. It's just not, it's physically impossible. Physically impossible. So I cannot please everyone. Sorry. All right. 11% do not like mailbag. So look, we had 12,000 total responses and only 5,000 people decided to do something that they hate. So that tells you something. So yeah, here we go. Option, what do you want more of? So most of the people who responded to which ones they like also responded to what do they want more of, but only about half had something to whinge about, which is great. Okay. So, and not necessarily a win, it's like, it's fine if you don't like, I want to know this. I want to know what type of videos you don't like. Vintage magazines, you don't like them. Okay, I do. I'll whack it on my second channel if I find something interesting. I won't put any effort into it. EV smoke, yeah, okay, it's gone. I just won't bother unless I blow my own stuff up. Blabs will continue occasionally just because blabs are a way to me to get important industry stuff across. And I forgot that category there, like industry expose. I was thinking about calling it, and I forgot to put it in there where I, do show a product that's, from a major manufacturer that's blowing up or faulty or some other issue. They've got some manufacturing quality issue, and someone's got to expose that to a wider audience, and I think that's important. So I'll still continue there. Vintage magazines, vintage computing, 10%. I'm surprised at that. 556 people, 10% said they didn't like, 10% of the respondents. So that's actually 5% of the total audience. Just remember, these figures are halved because it's 10% of the 5,000 total, which is roughly half of the audience. So, and live shows, okay. So 12.5% of my audience do not like live shows. All right. I think I might just shuffle them off to the second channel. General rants, yep, I get it. That lines up with blabs, doesn't it? Yep, they're about the same. Okay, yep. So, like 6% of my audience don't like those. Auction, eBay stuff. General rant, what else is high? Debunking, 15%. So that's about 7% of my audience say they don't want me to do debunking videos. They think they're a waste of time. But yeah, that's a reasonable percentage. I don't expect everyone to like them. Okay, fair call. Although I'd be very surprised if there's anyone out there who didn't at least go, yeah, awesome, Dave, good on ya. At least somebody spoke up about it, kind of thing. Even if you don't like to watch them, I'd be surprised if anyone was that hard-ass that they didn't think it was a good idea to, for somebody to actually expose this stuff. I think people are more concerned with that I'm wasting, I'm producing those at the expense of other content which they like, which I understand. That's fair enough. I really do. I can appreciate that. I can dig it. Okay, so that's, 60 people said they don't want to see repair videos, interesting. And 61 people said they don't want to see advanced tutorials. 117 said they don't want to see beginner tutorials. See, there's people who hate stuff that you love, you've got to understand that. So please, when you complain next time, the thing that really annoys me is when people get in the comments and I think I can speak for everyone, or I speak for a large audience. No, you don't. Or I speak for many people. No, you don't. You don't know jack shit about my audience. Maybe you do now because we've got the data, okay? But you can speak for yourself. Fine, okay, I'll listen to you. But when you start off with, and they say we don't like, debunking video. Like, bugger off. You speak for yourself. You don't speak for anyone else. Get out of here. So, what do you think about seeing an additional new EEVblog host, which is potentially, I think I've said this on the, have I said it on the forum? Yes, it's potentially someone you know. Let's just say that. It's someone that you know and possibly love. I'm looking at hiring a full-time person, not just like a casual like I've had before, but a full-time. This person's looking for a full-time job, and I was thinking that I would actually get someone full-time. I'd make the big commitment to get somebody full-time and potentially have them produce additional content. That doesn't mean I'm going to produce less. Far from it. In fact, they could free me up from a bit of pressure so I can produce either more or better quality of my own content. So that could include product design as well. And they said they want to do tutorial videos, advanced tutorials and stuff like that, because he's a math nerd. So, yeah. Anyway, that's not a done deal yet. We're still discussing it and stuff like that. But I definitely want to get someone. So, yes. But he's interested. Anyway, what level are you? So, yeah, that would happen possibly in March. So, I'll either get them, or if it has to be someone else, then, I'd be looking to hire somebody full-time. And no, sorry, if I do have to advertise it, I want somebody local. Sorry, it's just, when I advertised the job previously, I got inundated with applications from overseas, and I really appreciated your enthusiasm, and some people were top-notch, but I want to give it to somebody local. I want somebody, it's just, I want to support somebody local. That's just the way I want to do it. So sorry, unless you're actually here and you've actually got a work visa, maybe, you already live here. But no, so many people said, oh, I'd come and, I'd rent a place there and I'd live right next door. And, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but no, I want someone local. So would you like to see more text? No. What level are you? Highest ranking. This is similar to the data I've got before. 33% of my audience are professional engineers. So, and that includes recent graduates who are maybe looking for an engineering job. They're, you can basically call them engineers, or they've called themselves engineers, so that's fine. But you've got to lump that in. I think you've got to lump that in. Well, no, you don't have to. Okay, a third of my audience are engineering professionals. Engineering, or, 10% are, technicians, technical associates, whatever you want to call them in your country, it's different, including graduates. So they're, to me, they're professionals as well. So that's, 40, that's getting towards 40 plus 43% or something. It's getting towards half that are professionals, and 18%, let's round it to say 20% are like students, engineering students. So, technical or other technical related students. So that includes, technician level kind of stuff, or computer science, or other, other related, mechanical engineering, computer engineering, or whatever it is. Students, so that's interesting. 32% hobbyist. A lot of people assume that my largest audience is hobbyists. It is not. When you combine the students that are going to be professionals and professionals that are already out there, it's like 65% or something, is it? I don't know. Yeah, something like that. It's the vast majority are actual professionals, and only 3,800 are hobbyists, and they're declared hobbyists, so they don't have any formal qualifications, or they don't actually work in the field as an engineer. You didn't have to have a degree, for example, to tick the box saying that you're an engineering professional. If that's your vocation, if that's what you're hired as, or you're working as, you're contracted as an engineering professional, then it's nothing to do with qualifications, really. And for 3.8% don't know a thing about electronics. They just like to watch. I find that fascinating. That's great. And 2.4% are other industry professionals. So they put that over hobbyist. So, you might be a doctor, or you might be a lawyer or something like that, but you're a hobbyist also. Well, you'd put that in other non-technical related professional. So, cool. That's important for my advertisers. The advertisers want to know this, so I'll cut and paste this, and that'll go into my rate sheet, my advertising rate sheet. So that's great. Thank you. Would you like to see more text blog content? Most people said they don't care. Yeah, That's no surprises there. 8% said no, they don't want to see more, and 14% said yes. So that's if I want to produce more blog content, I can. Only 8% will get upset. There you go. Good to know. What do you think about the video frequency? It's interesting. I didn't expect it to be just about right, to be like 80%. That's pretty good. That's pretty interesting. So what am I, like I've dropped down. I used to do 3 videos a week. Recent years, once Huxley came along and more family commitments and more business commitments and stuff like that, then yeah, it's dropping down to like 2-ish a week or something like that. Some weeks are only 1. I feel really bad. But sometimes I've just got a lot of stuff going on. And which will hopefully be alleviated by having a second person who can produce content. That'll sort of take the pressure off me. I won't feel as bad that I only got 1 of my own videos out that week, but they might have produced 2 others. That's kind of the plan, by the way, is to have a new co-host actually make, say, have like, standing orders. Try and make 2 videos a week, for example, be they tutorials or whatever. I'll still be doing all the regular ones, which are, I'll still be doing the teardowns, I'll still be doing the mailbags, I'll still be doing the reviews and stuff like that. So, but I don't know, I could have the other person chime in with their opinion on a new scope or something like that. So you might get 2 opinions instead of 1 now, perhaps. But anyway, because they're not too interested in doing reviews. So they want to design products and do tutorials and stuff. Actual design and teaching. Design and teaching. So that's interesting. So only 12% said more is better. Okay. I expected that to be much higher. I really did. So, and only 8% said fewer, more highly polished videos, please. Okay, so most want me to at least keep that 2 to 3 a week. They most want me, so, so I can pretty much, sorry, but, someone's got to be ignored. I can pretty much ignore the 8% who say, no, I'm producing too many. They'd rather have, I can pretty much say, well, no, sorry, I'm not going to produce fewer videos because 8% want it. So, I'm going to keep up the frequency and hopefully more. What do you think about the video length? As long as it has all the detail I want, it can be as long as it needs to be. 60%. Okay. There you go. Most people are happy. I try and my video, I don't often repeat myself as much as I used to way back in the early days. I think my videos are more polished now. And I like to think I put more work into editing them now, a bit more anyway, so that, I do try and, take out a few seconds here, a few seconds there, and ums and ahs and other stuff now. I take a bit more effort into it, and I like to think that there's not really any wasted material in a video. If I think it's wasted, I'll generally try and take it out. So I think, everything in there is valuable. But as always, I go into a video thinking, I get the idea for a video, I'll do a video on this. So I set the camera up, I set the whatever I need to set up, I press record, and I just start talking, and I always think of something more to talk about. I always think of a little tangent, and a lot of people say they like those little tangents, the extra detail, and this seems to back it up. So 60, more than a vast majority think that I should include as much detail as possible. Not, a 2-hour marathon or something, but, I shouldn't chop stuff out if I think it's valuable. That's what they're saying, basically. And 28% love any extra. So that's basically, no, that's 88%. So that's 88% of the audience think the length of my videos are fine. So, yeah, sorry, yeah, I'm not going to put any effort into, any more effort into making them shorter. I'll try to keep them shorter, only 4.5%. So what can I tell you? And that's from almost everyone responded to that, by the way, and almost everyone responded to that. And I didn't see that. Almost everyone responded to that, and almost everyone responded to that. Wow, it's great. Geez, only 5 people bothered to skip a thing, or a dozen people. It's not many. Okay, so think you had attention. I have the attention span of a typical human, according to YouTube. If you don't know, YouTube, go Google the YouTube playbook. I think they still call it that, and you can download it. You don't have to. It's not secret squirrel stuff. And it's a detailed document. I haven't looked at it for quite a few years now, but it's like a detailed document of how to be successful on YouTube. And it's YouTube's formula for what they believe makes successful content. And generally, if you appeal into a general audience, it's not far off the mark. You know, it's like the video, you know, there's a format, there's a style, a formula that goes into the video. It's like you do a less than 1 minute intro that catches people's attention. You know, put something really good in the intro that goes, oh, I can't press stop. I've got to drop everything I'm doing and watch this. And then you're supposed to have your little, after a minute, 30 seconds a minute, you have your little short intro, very short, you know, flashy graphics, blah, 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 blah. And then you go into it, and then you know, it's got to have certain pacing and stuff like that to keep people from dropping off. And then you've got to, you know, with a big, you've got to have it, or entice people to watch something at the end, you know, like, you know, bait them and say, oh, you've got to watch the end. I'm going to reveal, you know, something, and to keep them watching. And then you've got to keep it under like 7 minutes or something, like 10 minutes generally. I think it's more like 5 to 7 minutes is kind of the sweet spot for that sort of stuff. But if you're talking about the average view length people watch on YouTube as a worldwide thing, it's only like 2.5, 3 minutes. That's like, just overall, that's the most time people, that's the average times people spend watching. But no, to be a success, you can't, like 2-3 minute videos don't cut it unless you've got content that's suitable for that kind of, you know, like you've got, you know, who's that guy who does little hacks and things, and they're like 2 minute hacks, you know, 2-3 minute hacks or something like that. Or it's the hydraulic press channel, and you just might spend 3 or 5 minutes to crush something, you know. Yeah, anyway, so there's a formula, and I don't do any of that. And I'm still reasonably successful in my, at least in my niche. You know, I'm not gonna, I don't appeal to the general audience. I don't pretend I ever will. So yeah, unless my new channel I set up, I'm I think that might have appealed to a wider, at least a wider audience, still a technical audience, but wider audience. So we'll see. So there you go, and keep up the great work. There were comments in there and, you know, stuff like that. A few people, I didn't limit it to Google Mail only, so I'm not sure what's people I will, yes, endeavour to take out fake ones and stuff like that. And email addresses, I won't do the draw now, sorry, I'll do that later. The draw for the 3 meters plus the new probe. I don't have it. Is it in my inbox? In my bag? Did I bring it? Oh, it's probably in my car. Anyway, I got my new probe. It's on the forum if you want to have a look at it. New high voltage oscilloscope probe. Anyway, I've been waffling on for, I don't know, does this have a counter? No, it doesn't. It's a 2.4 gig upload though. Holy goodness. Sorry, that's been going. I've been going for at least half an hour. So, sorry. Anyway, thank you to everyone who responded. That's very interesting and useful data. So now when people complain, it's like, I don't like these videos. Oh, sorry, you know, 50% do. You know, so yeah, not much I can, can't please everyone. It's impossible. Anyway, thanks for watching all this waffle. Catch you next time.